Well, looks like it's time to go. So let's go. Hello. I'm doing more than just testing out some new pigments. I am also making dice today, but I'm going to test out some new pigments. So I have that as the stream title because it is something we're going to be doing. I got a set of new alcohol inks because I was missing some colors. We'll see how they do. They were kind of cheap alcohol inks, but there's at least a red now and a brown, which I did not have. So we're going to test a bunch of these. We're going to do our normal little paint chips. Like these. Just a second. Like these. That are all of my different pigments. And I've got, how many are there? 5, 10, 15, there's about 20 of them. And this shouldn't be too difficult to do. I do want to write the names on all of the cups. So I have a Sharpie out so that I can actually keep track of which one's which. Because that is, you know, helpful. It's helpful to actually know which color is which and not just make paint chips and have random colors that you can't identify later. So we're going to do that. And then I've got a couple other things to work on as well. We have a couple of commission things we're working on. We have a commission set that I'm going to try using the red and probably one of these purples in. I'm not sure which purple yet because I kind of want to mix up these colors and see which one I think is going to look the best. We're going to do that, and then I have a super complex D20. Where did I put the D20? Where did I just set the D20 that I'm working on? Why is my brain... Oh, it's over here. Here it is. It has all sorts of little pieces here that I need to add into that mold, so that's going to take a little bit of time. But I figured first we'd just mark down our colors on our mixing cups. How do I have these written out? Let's see here. I'm just going to see what how are these labeled, pretty much. I'm curious what my alcohol inks are labeled as. They just say alcohol ink. Okay, I have the brand. And then okay. So this one's cherry. Yeah, this is how I do kind of tests for all of my colors. As I put them in little mixing cups. I might need to get some more of these little mixing cups. I don't really have any like super clean ones, I guess. I've used them all. I have larger mixing cups, like these ones. This one's been used, but like this size. But I don't have any more of the Hi, Helen. Yeah, we'll see how they are. Like I said, they're like I was saying, they were fairly cheap alcohol inks, so we'll see how well they work. But I needed a red. And quite honestly, I could use a purple as well. So they seemed like they might work. We're gonna find out. We're gonna see. I really should figure out probably how much resin I think this is gonna take, because probably a little bit less than 2.5. Let's say 3 of them takes 5 milliliters. That seems about right. And there's 22, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So I'll say 8. Wait, yes, 8. Wait. 3 times 8, 8 makes 16. I've just blanked on how to do math. There's a cat staring at me from the window. You can see his. You can kind of see. Maybe you can see his I'm a little bright, but there's... Oh! I'm gonna make my little test chips like I do with all of my other ones. I was just trying to do some math here and figure out about how much resin it's gonna take. Because, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Yes, so let's say 21. Okay, so 8 times 5 is going to be about 40. Okay, so we'll say this is going to take about 40. And then I've got a set of dice for a commission I'm going to do that's going to take maybe 35. So that's 75. Yeah, I think we're going to have kind of just the right amount. Because we have an 8-piece set, which is going to have a couple of extra things because it's commission. We're going to have a jumbo D20 that I'm going to work on, and then we're going to have all of these. So I think we're going to have pretty much the exact right amount of resin. We'll find out. I have a kitty cat outside the window staring at me. It doesn't seem like he wants in. I think he just wants to hang out. It's Fitz that's out there. He's the one that hangs outside. Really. The cats usually, if I'm hanging out in a room, will come hang out in the room with me, but Fitz wants you to follow him and go hang out with him where he wants to hang out. And more often than not, it's like, hey, come outside with me. Let's go hang out outside. Let's go play. Let's go play in the grass outside. It's like, buddy, I'm doing stuff inside. Although it's getting nice and cool here. It's cooling off, which it's been nice. It's been a little rainy. Which I like because we don't get a ton of rain here. But it's nice. The autumn is nice. I feel like autumn is the best season where I'm at. And the reason for that, like normally I'd say spring, because I love all the flowers and everything, even though there's allergies and things, but autumn is nice because it lasts long enough. I swear that spring here lasts like a week. It's short for Fitzwilliam. All of my cats are named after literary characters, and so he's named after Fitzwilliam Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. Fitz is also accurate though, because he likes to throw fits, because he's a drama queen. He's such a dramatic cat. But, what was I saying? What was I saying before that? I don't remember what I was saying. I got distracted. He's left now, by the way. He just, came over and sat in the window well for a moment and then decided to leave, I guess. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, let's see. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. It's probably something about cats. Since that's, what I do with my time is have cats. Alright, here's another one. I was going to mark these all out. Oh, spring doesn't oh yeah, the weather here. Use a different mixing cup than this one. Yeah, no, the weather here, it'll be 40 degrees every day. And then there'll be a week where, the temperature's great and it's between 50 and 70. And then suddenly it's 102 out. It's just why can't we have some cooler weather for a little bit longer? But autumn, I feel like we get a little bit more time with autumn. Autumn, we get at least a month or two where it's between maybe it might be freezing at night. It might be 30 degrees at night or whatever, but then it's in the 50s during the day. It's just it's nice. And plus we get a little bit of rain and stuff, which we don't get a ton of rain here. Hopefully this isn't outing where I live too much. Although some of you guys have my address. It's such a weird thing. I guess I think of it as mutually assured destruction. Because if you've ordered something from me, you have my address. Because I ship things from my house. But I figure that if you order something from me, I also have your address. That sounds creepy, and it kind of is, but it's not really meant that way. Like I said, mutually assured destruction. I'm not too worried about it. I don't see it becoming an issue. Falls like that, you get like 2 weeks of what you think is perfect weather, and then the snow starts. Oh. Yeah. So see, that's like what spring is. Spring is like... Spring, I feel like, is... you know, you get nice weather for 2 weeks, and then it's 110. We get a lot longer autumn. All right. I don't know if I preferred it or not. So I lived in Seattle for a couple of years because I was going to school there. I don't know if I like it's. They say that it rains all the time in Seattle. And that's kind of true. I wouldn't say that it rains so much in Seattle as it's always damp. Like, there's always like a little bit of like mist in the air. It's usually like gray and overcast, but it's not like actively downpouring or anything. It's just kind of like, I don't know, kind of misting in the air. But you know, it's closer to the water and stuff, so it's a lot more temperate. You know, the temperatures don't usually fluctuate as much. Obviously, there was the heat wave this year, which it was not great considering most people don't have air conditioning over there. But for the most part, you know, it's a lot more even temperatured. I feel like maybe I prefer that. But I only say that because I overheat really easy. Like, there's something nice about having... You went to Seattle for Fleet Week and really liked it there. Oh, I really enjoyed being in Seattle. It's a fun place. I could spend days just in, like, Pike Place. At, like, Pike Place Market and stuff. Yeah. I want to go back and visit again at some point. Go back to Seattle. I have some friends that are also interested in going, but, you know, I figured that's going to be a while. We'll wait for, you know, everyone to be healthy and stuff. My friends are all healthy, but, you know, state of the world and all. But, yeah. I don't know, there's lots of places that I kind of want to go back to, and, like, places that my friends and my brother and stuff haven't been. It's just like, man, I want to go to Pike Place Market again. Fitz, what are you... The cat's back, by the way. What are you doing? He's back up in the window. But yeah, like, I don't know, there's something... I feel like there's nice things about having, like, distinct seasons. And nice things about, like, having an more even temperature. And I don't know which one I prefer. Like, there's something very... I just spelled blueberry wrong. There we go. Okay. I missed an R. There's something very nice about, like, getting some snow and being, like, cozy inside and stuff. Like, I feel like with when you get more seasons and stuff, like, there's certain things that you kind of get to... Oh, hi, Robbie! Shoot yourself into a cannon and greatly misses your target. You hear me fly overhead and give me a thumbs up as I crash into a hill. I'm good. How are you down there in your crumpled heap of crashedness? I'm talking about, like, weather and saying how autumn's... You like to make them... I mean, valid. I feel like that, you know, if you're gonna pop in, you gotta pop in with style. There's a cat outside my window. You guys want to see the cat outside the window? We'll see. He's kind of backlit, so we'll see. Hello! Hi, Fitz! You're good, I'm glad. Fitzy boy! What you doing? I can't let you in at the moment. I'm working on stuff. Where did I just leave off? Violet. Haven't done this one. All right. But yes, I was talking about weather, and then also, would you almost call him a peeping Tom? That was, my parents have a cat door, because they have 2 cats that are indoor-outdoor. And apparently, not too long ago, my mom was taking a bath, and a random cat that wasn't their cat just walked in and was like poking around. Just like, oh, hello, walked back out. And it's just like, that was, hi, Gremlin. Yeah, that was the joke that I made for that cat, that it was a peeping Tom. I'm reusing jokes. I guess I shouldn't have told you that. Yes, he's left again now. Oh, that kitty's left again now. The random one at my parents' house left a while ago. Yeah, so I got some new inks. So I'm just marking what the names of all of them are and putting them onto the cups here, because we're gonna make our little test chips like I do with all of my other. I've done with all my other pigments. I've got all the various pigments that I have and have used and tried. Some of them are random things like coffee grounds, but this way I can see what looks like what I want. We're gonna actually try making a set of dice with a couple of these colors today too. And if they don't turn out, I'll remake this set. It's for a commission. But that was why I ordered these, because I needed a red. Alright, this one's purple. But no, before that, we were talking about weather, and how where I live, we have very distinct seasons. But like spring lasts like a week. It goes from just like freezing temperatures to and then you have spring for a week and a half, where it's nice and in like the 50s and 60s and 70s, and then suddenly it's like 110 out. It's just like, no. So I think that's why I like autumn so much, is because we actually get a bit of a longer autumn with some like rain and stuff, which is really nice. It's nice having that little bit of rain. We don't get a ton of rain here, but I was saying that when I lived in Seattle, because I went to school there for a couple of years, like, it was kind of nice that there weren't seasons. Like, it was nice that it kind of had an even temperature, but I don't know which I like better, because I overheat so easy, and so like the cooler temperatures there is nice. It's nice not overheating, but at the same time, it's so nice when there's like snow out. You've got like a cup of hot cocoa and there's a fire going in the fireplace. It's just so cozy. I feel like you don't get that if you don't, live somewhere that gets snow. I cannot, that's an F, not an E. Coffee. E. Okay, I can spell coffee, I swear. I totally didn't just accidentally add wrong letters in there. I just had trouble writing it, that's all. Exactly. Nice blanket. Maybe a book or a movie on in the background. Okay, black. The seasons in Indiana are not winter yet, winter, still winter, and road construction. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. I've got a couple of... So this came with 2 different whites. One of them's called cream and one of them's called white. But I was reading the back here. There's a little tiny like tips on the back. And one of them, and they say that they're for epoxy resin. One of them says that it will push the color down to the middle, and one of them it says it will push the color down to the bottom. So it sounds like one is kind of like a heavier sink for Petri, and one of them is not quite as sinkable. I don't know what words I'm using. Some sort of words. You know what I mean. We are going to try and do a Petri today. That is the plan. I'll probably just use my other alcohol ink though, since I'm more familiar with how that works. Although we could try it. We're testing everything else out here. But I don't know which one I'd want to use. I might have to do some different tests with these, or all of my whites actually, all of my white alcohol inks. I might have to do some tests to see how they work with Petri, with doing Petri things. Okay, there's that one, and oh, the tests, exactly. But not today for that. I've got a couple other things that I need to get done today, or I'd like to get done today at the very least. Okay, let me set these off to the side, because I do have a thing here that we'll see. This might end up being a longer stream, and the reason for that is going to be this jumbo D20 right here. You didn't study for the test today. Uh-oh. You didn't study for the epoxy resin pigment test? Man, I hope you know the source material. So I've got a I guess I'm just in a mood today, I guess. All right, let me move those off to the side. So we've got a D20 that we're working on here. I'm gonna need some of the moss from here, so I'm gonna pull that down. This is gonna be probably the most complex die that I've ever done. So the plan here for this die is there's a wizard tower in the middle, with these three crystals surrounding it. These three crystals are surrounding it. And then there is lightning coming down around it from a storm. Oh, I need to grab my colors out for that. Remember which colors I'm doing for that. But yeah, all of the individual pieces have been. There's been a lot of buildup, but there's already a layer in there. I did some little tiny skulls and some little rocks out of polymer clay, and then I did some of my dirt mixture, which sounds weird. It's coffee grounds, some cumin, and cinnamon, and it makes kind of a good textured dirt sort of thing. I poured that over the top. I'm hoping that you can see the skulls and everything. I'm hoping it didn't like completely obscure them. But we're going to put the crystals on there. I have a little like base plate for the tower because I don't want to have to try and work around the tower, but I need to be able to know where it's going. Yeah, so I made all of these little models in Blender and then 3D printed them. So I made a little tiny tower. The sphere actually, well, to be fair, I did 3D print a little tiny sphere and then made a mold of it. But it's actually resin. But this is a little 3D printed thing for the most part. Yeah, this was the project that made me actually go, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to use the 3D printer, the resin 3D printer. And now I'm just like, I want to print all of the things with the resin 3D printer now that I actually have figured out how it works. But there's a couple other things here that I think I'm gonna add. The concept art that I was sent for this had kind of like cables leading from the crystals to the tower. It wasn't mentioned by the person, but it was in the concept art. So I have some threads that I'm going to attach from the crystals to the base plate part as well. That's the plan there. But just all the little tiny pieces for this I'm so nervous, honestly, to make this now, because it's just like I've spent a lot of time making all the little pieces. I really hope it turns out. So I'm just going to use, I think, a little bit of Elmer's glue, because I don't think I could get my UV light in there. So we're just going to use a little tiny bit of Elmer's glue. We're just going to try and tack things down a little bit. Because I just want to kind of get things where they're going to go. I don't think there's any particular order that these need to go in, but I'm going to try and space them evenly. If I can actually get them in there. That's the thing. Got to get them in there and upright. Okay. And I don't want them to be touching the edge, but I kind of want them. Now you want aquarium dice, little fishies. Ooh, that'd be cool. I did pond dice that were just solid blue with little hand-painted lily pads on them, but it might be cool to make some little tiny fish and put redo that design with the lily pads, but do like little tiny fish in them. That'd be cool. That'd be really cute. All right, make sure here's the one I was working on. I don't want too much glue here, because honestly that will make it so it doesn't stay upright as easily. I'm going to try and get this to lie flat. I'm trying to get them kind of evenly spaced. Because of how the D20 is shaped, I kind of have a triangle that I'm working on. So it works out well. I'm just kind of putting one in each corner of that triangle. If I can. Alright. See you in a moment. Come on. Why is it just trying to get this? But it's been a fun. Oh, thanks. I should make some more of those at some point. They're one of my like go-to sort of designs. But it's been a bit since I've made any. I've been opting for simpler things. That's the thing though. Like all of that stuff requires me to actually like plan. And it's so much easier to just sit down and make things. Although at the same time, I did just make some blank, just some blank black inserts. And I do plan to paint these somehow. So I thought that'd be cool. I thought that might be cool. Okay, is that leaning? I honestly can't tell if it's leaning this side. All right. And now we're gonna add it to the little base plate here. I need more glue. Yeah, it's, you know, there's something about, I don't know, working in this scale. So I made little tiny skulls. I was definitely inspired by your dice to make more little tiny skulls. And also for this set. So I made a bunch of little tiny skulls. But there's something about working at this scale. Like it's actually quite difficult. Like I don't know, I guess I feel like you'd almost think that working at a larger scale would take more time. But there's kind of like a point where it's like if you do something really big, it's going to take a long amount of time, and if you do something really small, it's going to take a long amount of time. Just because, like, if you're doing something really big, you've got a lot of material to work with. And if you're doing something really small, all of the details matter, because they're going to be a lot more noticeable. So I feel like both of those are just, like, I don't know, not more work necessarily, but definitely something. Okay. I want this to be centered. I think that's pretty centered. Tiny skulls. So these don't actually need to be very long at all, looks like. Let's cut these down so that they are very short. Like very short. Because actually, like it, we're going that short. Because, yeah, there's not a lot, big distance between the crystals and the, I'm still going to try and kind of attach this a little bit. Maybe I should do this after I add the grass. I'm not sure. Actually, it's long. This is even longer. It's like, where is this going? What is Robbie doing? What's the bit? The bit. The bit. What is the bit? Okay. So I'm going to just kind of try to tack this down from the crystal to the base. Okay, this glue. I gotta keep you on your toes though. Like if I say hi back every time, that wouldn't be nearly as interesting. I may have a cookie here. Gravity keeps you on your toes? That seems a little backwards. You know, the thing that always gets me about gravity is that it's an acceleration and not a force. I guess fun fact. Fun fact, if you're ever doing, you know, physics or mathematical equations, gravity is an acceleration. Because it's what, meters, like it's 9.81 meters squared per second. Is that right? I think that's right. Roughly 9.1, or roughly 9.81 meters squared per second. I've done a lot of you are a force of nature. I was gonna say, can you tell that I've done a lot of engineering classes? Since I have the acceleration of gravity memorized. Just a couple science and engineering classes. I'm pretty sure that's right. No need to fact check. No need to fact check. Oh, come on. I don't want to mess up the crystals either. Okay, I think maybe I need to let the crystals dry a little bit, maybe. One of the weakest energies. I don't know. I guess it depends on how you quantify those. Like obviously it's doing stuff to us, but if you mean like for its size, like how much mass is required, maybe. Because you know technically we all have different gravitational pulls just because we have mass, but you know it's negligible just because of how much mass is required. Ah, the cat is back. The cat is back at my window. Just a second here. Come on, let go. Gravity is considered a very weak force because it measures very small. For example, it is 1,040 weaker than the electromagnetic force that holds atoms together. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But it's still, you know, that's the thing though, like, even if it's small, it still affects us. Like, it affects us in big ways. So even if it's comparatively small, I wouldn't call it small, I guess. In a from a practical like a practical everyday standpoint, I wouldn't call it small. From a scientific standpoint, maybe. Like, you know, I feel like there's kind of two different things there. It's like a thing I was reading. What? Why what? You know why it affects us? What? Wait. I mean, yeah. Pressing down on me. But, you know, the man's fallen. Okay, just like that. There we go. What, Helen? Are you just going ack at our quoting of Under Pressure? Ah, no, let go. Let go of my tweezers. That's something that I enjoy. So, what was I was going to talk about something else, but speaking of like songs, that's something that I find really fun. I kind of want to play a bard character that just says the lyrics to well-known songs, but like uses them in conversation. And I mean, like, doesn't use the correct cadence or rhythm or anything, but just says things like sentences. And I want just to see like if people would pick up on it, to be honest. Just because I think you got a Kingdom Hearts song stuck in your head. Just because I think that would be fun for some reason. You don't need more songs stuck in your head. No man is falling under pressure. Pushing down on me. I think I'm gonna want the dark green here. So okay, I'm going to try and kind of coat the bottom of this in some moss. I think I'm going to use what was I going to say though? There's something I was going to say before we got into quoting song lyrics. Maybe scrolling up will help me remember. But it'd have to do with gravity and science. I don't remember. I don't remember if it had to do with gravity and science. I do not have a good memory. Okay. So we've got kind of our things in there. We're gonna, there's a random piece of just random resin in here that just doesn't need to be in here. It's right in my way. Okay. Now I just have Under Pressure running through my head. I can't think about anything else. And so I guess that's what's happening today. Okay. Let's get some of this moss in here. My revenge shall be sweet and unexpected. I don't remember what it was. I was gonna say something. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Can't remember what the context was. I don't remember what we were talking about before the song lyrics. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't have a good memory, you know, the best of times. But then, like, streaming, I really have no memory at all when streaming because I'm trying to focus on so many things at once. There's a key cat. Weather, gravity. Yeah, there was something somewhere. I think I was going to go have a non sequitur or something else, which doesn't help at all. Because there was I think there was a different thing I was going to branch off into. Jokes. Oh yes, practical standpoint. Because we were talking about gravity. Yeah, we were talking about gravity and how, like, you know, from a scientific standpoint, it's maybe not that strong, but from a practical standpoint, like an everyday standpoint, obviously we're affected by it. I was going to talk about a thing I read that I thought was kind of interesting about how the imperial system makes sense for artisans. It was just an interesting read. Because, like, you know, metric base 10 makes perfect sense for trying to do math. Math and science is so much easier with metric. Like, you know, if you need, like, super specific things, super nice to have that base 10. But if you're making a recipe or something, and you want a third cup, it's so much easier to do that than to do, like, if you just have a cup, a 1 cup measurement, and you're trying to, you know, bake something, and maybe it's not even a cup, it's just a dish that you use that's a cup, and you know that you need about a third of it of this thing and about half of it of this thing, it makes more sense for it to be base 12, because you can easily divide that up into thirds or fourths or sixths or half. Like, it just divides so much more easily for fractions. I just thought it was a really interesting thing. You know, it's like, sure, the foot doesn't make sense for scientific things, but if you're trying to, if you have a building and you're trying to figure out how to space 3 pillars evenly along it, makes it so much easier when you're dividing by 3 if it's base 12. I just thought it was, I don't know, I thought it was an interesting sort of perspective on it. Can't remember if I've mentioned that on stream or not before. I might have, but I don't know. It was an interesting thing to read. Like, obviously, I think for a lot of modern practices, we use a lot more math and stuff, and so metric makes more sense. But wow, I agree. But yeah, a lot of modern things we use a lot more precise measurements and stuff. So you've never thought about it that way when you teach fractions? Fair. To be fair, I hadn't thought about it at all until I saw a thing that someone had written about it, and I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense actually. That it makes sense, like, to have for fractions for things to be base 12. Because yeah, that is easier to just mentally divide up or visually divide up. To be fair, that was a similar thing I remember reading about Celsius versus Fahrenheit. Most metric, you know, you learned about the history of Mohawks today, which you thought was interesting. Oh, I'd be interested to hear about it. I was gonna say, like, Celsius versus Fahrenheit. I remember reading kind of a similar thing. Like, to be fair, I don't know Celsius. Like, I obviously I can use it for math and stuff, but I don't. If you give me a temperature in Celsius, I have to go convert it, like, with Google, because I don't know. But it reminds me of something that someone said at one point, that Celsius is based on water, and Fahrenheit is based on people. Because, like, if you're doing Celsius, you know, 0 is freezing and 100 is boiling. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 0 is freezing, 100 is boiling. And then, like, in Fahrenheit, 0 is really, really cold and 100 is really, really hot for like, a human being. So, like, I feel like, you know, it's more of a, if you say 100 in Celsius, and I feel like we're almost going back to fractions or percentages again. If we go from, like, a scale of 0 to 100, you know, how hot is it outside? It's like, okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. If it's just like a scale from 0, let's all use Kelvin, where 0 is impossible. There we go. What is the difference between Celsius and Kelvin? Is like 290 something. 291. Someone should check that. I can't remember. I can't remember the exact number. 291 point. I'm gonna make a guess. I'm gonna guess it's like 291.3 or something like that. What is the difference between Kelvin and Celsius? Yeah, Robbie's brain hurts. Basically, all temperature is energy. And so, you know, even if something feels cold to us, there's still temperature in it. And so it has energy in it. And so 0 Kelvin, like, it has less energy the colder it is. And so you have to get to a point where there's no energy anymore. And 0 Kelvin is that point where there's no energy anymore. So you can't... 273.15. What did I say? 270... What did I say? What did I say it was? Did I say 273? Did I say 291? I don't remember. I don't remember what I just said. I thought I said 270 something. Maybe I said 291. I might have said 271. It might have been a 9. I might have said 291. I was close though. I knew it was 200. Incoming clip. What did have to go back and look. All right, I'm trying to add this grass in here. We're gonna add, I think, a little bit of some of the lighter greens too. I'm not sure if I should or not. The guy who wrote the article is actually a member of the Mohawk tribe. He said what we call a Mohawk is not the hairstyle that the tribe wore. He also gave pictures of other long gone peoples who wore what we'd call a Mohawk. There was a mummy from Ireland with a Mohawk, with gel made of pine resin. Oh, interesting. So did the hairstyle Mohawks, was it named after the Mohawk tribe? Or were they like two different things that ended up with the same name from two different places? I would assume that it was named after the Mohawk tribe somehow. Like, it's obviously... His article is basically saying this hairstyle is older than dirt and not cultural appropriation. I mean, fair, yeah. That's the thing with some of the hairstyles and stuff. It's like, guys, it's hair. Everyone has hair. Ah, I said 291. All right. I'll take my loss. I'll take the L on that one. 273. Oh well. But yes, that is the basic kind of idea of Kelvin, is that all temperature is energy, and so you get more as you have more energy as it's warmer. So there must be a point where it's 0, and that's 0 Kelvin. Math and science time with Liz. I debated trying to do a stream at some point that's just like math and science stuff. You didn't study for the pop quiz. The word Mohawk actually means cannibal, and the tribe is called something else. The style probably originated with either the Vikings or the Celtics. Ah. Interesting. Huh. I wonder what the tribe is actually called. You enjoy science stuff. Ever watch Kyle Hill? Nope, I don't know who that is. Who is that? Is it a YouTuber or something like that? But no, I debated at one point doing some sort of stream that was... He used to do Because Science. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't actually heard of him. I gotta branch out on the YouTubers I watch, I guess. Just a second. Worth looking up. Worth looking up and going and seeing. But no, yeah, I debated trying to do some sort of math and science stream. I have no idea what I would do for it. That's the thing. There was something at some point, I can't remember. Oh, that's right. I made a formula for myself to try and figure out my pricing and how it would all compare to each other. I made just a big algebra equation for fun. And I think I shared a snippet of it on my Discord. Someone was just like, man, just watch you do math. I'm just like, I mean, I feel like I could do something here, but I'm not sure what it is. Oh, come on. Can't get the thingy. There we go. I always enjoyed doing math. There'd be something funny about just doing a stream that was just doing math proofs. I feel like that would be such an odd stream. Can you imagine? I feel like it might, that would, no one would watch it. The article gave the name of the tribe, which started with a K, and it was very long, and you don't remember it. Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. I feel like proper nouns, even if it's like, I don't know, I'm so bad at remembering names of people. I had a friend in high school, and I sat next to her like every day in one of my classes, and I didn't know her name for like 2 months, but you know, it got to like that point where it's just like awkward to ask. You know, you talk to someone every day for a month, and then you're just like, what's your name? She's like, I can't do that. I can't do that. You admit to the name? Yeah. Come on. Lie down. Liz over here like sweating. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that is an accurate representation of me trying to remember my friend's name after not knowing it for 2 months. I can't remember how that got resolved, because like I found out her name after 2 months of being like, I don't remember what it is, but I don't remember how. I don't remember how I found it out. I don't remember. There is some of that just sticking up. I'm just trying to push things down a little bit. It's not sticking up too much. I think I'm going to add, I have some moss here that's kind of like brownish in color. I don't think I want to use my bright green moss. I think it would stick out. I think the dark green is going to be better because it's going to kind of add to the dark base of the dye. I feel like, you know, it's kind of supposed to be like a spooky tower. So let's keep it with the kind of darker colors. We want the crystals and everything to stand out. You only ended up on the thing because you were looking for a good product to put in your mohawk. Fair. I feel like, yeah, what did you end up finding? Now, I've never had a mohawk. I had an undercut at one point. I went, I transitioned through all of the different lengths of hair at one point. Like, I had, like, super long hair. Not super long, but, you know. I had long hair. And then it just kept getting progressively shorter and shorter over time. Where did that go? Oh, it's right there. Okay. You ended up finding the article. I feel like that's not a product to put in your hair. Most news articles aren't, but you know, if it works, it works. Just go. You know, it's like watching a scary movie, so all of your hair stands on end like this cartoon. I'm assuming that that's how that worked. You go watch a scary movie and it makes your hair stand on end and your eyes get comically big. And suddenly your mohawk's just standing upright. And you're all good to go. Trying to get some little bits. You can go with hair glue, but you don't want spikes. We're going Death Hawk, not Liberty spikes. Ah, okay. I feel like I've just heard of people using Elmer's glue. I mean, I don't know that it would ever, I don't know how well it would come out, but I've heard of people just using like Elmer's glue. It's probably a bad choice. It's one of those things that you like hear about and then it turns out it's like actually terrible for you or something, but I don't know, that's what I've always heard of. Okay, I'm trying to add this. Speaking of Elmer's glue, okay, I'm adding most of this kind of around the central tower here. I feel like that kind of works because it's kind of like lighter green and some more browns. You still want it to move, you're looking for volume. Wish I could be more help. Wish I could be more help, but alas, I know nothing about Mohawk maintenance. I was debating dyeing my hair a fun color. It's been a while. To be fair, when I had the undercut, it was also dyed purple. I did also have purple hair. I'm trying to put these last little kind of trees in. You wish you had hair for a mohawk? Is it shorn really short, or you just don't have a lot of hair on your head just naturally? I mean, if it's just shorn short, you could probably grow it out. You know, that's always an option. Let's see here. Man, I'm excited for I really hope this turns out well. I really hope this... Oh, it doesn't grow long. Oh. Interesting. Is there... I think... I can use some more over in the corner here. Let's see, your usual style is more hair in your beard than on your head. That's fair. Best viewers and loved it. But your husband did not. Honestly, like I said, I had an undercut for a while, and it just feels so nice. I feel like when it's like super short, I don't know, it just feels like fuzzy. Me? I did both. So I just had hair on the top of my head. I'm sure I have a photo of it somewhere. I think it's actually like my Etsy profile photo. But let's see here. I bet I have a photo of my hair. It was a while ago. Let's go back a couple years. See if I have any selfies. Okay, that was after it grew out a bit. I need to go back further. Back further. Let me see if I can find it when it was purple. Gotta find the purple hair. Where is my purple hair? No, it goes after that. Okay. It's somewhere in the middle here. Or is this after it grew out a bit? Now I'm just trying to find selfies. That's okay. You had a bright pink mohawk, then a dark purple mohawk, and then fried it? Wait, what do you mean fried it? I feel like I should be concerned about you frying your hair. And shaved it all, and now it's a black mohawk with a silver streak a la Bride of Frankenstein. Ooh, that's fun. Let me see here. Okay, here's a photo of back when it was really short. But I can't find. Yeah, you can see it's. There you go, nice and short. I don't know where I have a photo of it being purple. I can't find a photo of it being purple. It was purple at one point too on the top. Cause that's fun. You bleached it too. Oh, you bleached it too much and it fried. The silver is your natural color now. Oh. But purple is fun. Also, I'm still eating a cookie. Okay. I think this is looking pretty good. You can see a little bit of kind of the brown underneath, but I feel like that's going to be fine. Let's actually put the tower in. Oh, you know what I need to figure out? I need to figure out the lightning. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to attach the lightning. Let's see here. I'm thinking maybe this one I might want with UV resin. You were a redhead and started going gray at 16, so the fun colors. Yeah, I kind of fully expected to start going gray at 25, because that's when my mom started going gray. It appears that my brother got my dad's hair texture and my mom's coloring, and I think I got my mom's hair texture and my dad's hair coloring. So I'm still going strong with the dark hair, but my brother's starting to get a little gray around the temples. My younger brother, which it's fine. It works for his whole mad scientist vibe. Okay, so how do I want to attach these? I'm thinking maybe the best way to do this would be to kind of attach them to the crystals in here. I think that's going to be the way to go, and I think I want to do it with UV resin, because I think I don't want to have to try and hold those in place for a ridiculous amount of time, and this is going to be a lot more immediate. So let's try this. Let me get my mixing cups here. Just go flying. We'll see how long it takes for my brother to look like Albert Einstein, though, because he's got the fro a little bit he got from my dad. He's starting to go gray, so that could be fun. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna kind of put a little bit of the UV resin onto the back of. Okay, I'm going to try and put a little bit of the UV resin onto the kind of back of the lightning. Let me show you the lightning. And it might look a little bit messy here. And that's fine. The reason that it's maybe a little bit messy, you can kind of see there's some like tendrils and stuff hanging off. It's because I put a little bit of UV resin on these already so that they'd be stiffer, because it's a very thin, like, kind of plastic wrapping paper type thing, so it would be flopping around all over the place. And then also I put a little bit of glow-in-the-dark powder into the UV resin. That's fair. I mean, to each their own. Plus, you know, fun colors are fun. I feel like that was a trend at one point though, like gray hair was like in at one point. I feel like that was a thing. Floppy lightning. This lightning is not, yeah, no, no. That one went through the filter, it's fine. Alright, so let's try putting a little bit of the UV resin onto our lightning here. Let's see how it goes. Okay. So I'm gonna, yeah, well, we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna kind of try and just brush a little bit on here. Hopefully this shouldn't show up too much in the actual dye once it's done. My brain just shut off there for a moment. So I'm gonna try and kind of stick it to a couple of the crystals in there. I don't know if I got it or not, but we're gonna try and get that stuck. Ooh, I think it might have worked a little bit. It just shouldn't need to be like too attached, but I want it attached enough that when we add the kind of swirl of dark colors up top, which to be honest I should start grabbing out, but when we add the swirl of dark colors on top, I don't want to like just knock them down, because I feel like that would be an issue. I'm missing a color. What is it? I think it's this one. Okay. Yes, okay. So we've got one of them in there that's sitting upright, and I think that's going to be good enough. Let's see if I can show you. It's always hard to show you like in the molds, but you can kind of see the lightning there. There we go. You can kind of see the lightning that's sticking up in there. I will definitely take photos of this once it's finished. I mean, you know, hopefully it turns out and everything. Even if this one doesn't turn out, I will get it to turn out eventually. But yeah, this thing's been a lot of work, but it's been fun. Let me see if I can get this one to sit somewhere nice. Not like that. I want you to sit over here. I'm trying to get them kind of opposite each other, but like to a point where it doesn't look too forced or anything. I do have like one more little thing of lightning here that I could add. I don't know if I need it though. I want everything to be visible in there, so I don't know if I want to add too much lightning. You know, it's kind of a balancing act with some of these. Kind of a balancing act. Oops, let's put these away. Yeah, no, my usual rule for like commissions is that, you know, usually I wait until the person has gotten the commission before I will post photos of it. Just because I feel like, you know, I want the person who ordered it to you know, they get first dibs on seeing it. But do you think I could attach this with UV resin? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Let's see if I can attach this with UV resin. I don't know if I'll get enough light in there, but I'm not too worried. If it doesn't work, we'll just go back in with some Elmer's glue. Oh man. Ah! My tweezers don't want to hold on to it. So that was a bad, okay. No, that worked. I'm okay with waiting until after the person who's buying it sees it. I understand. To be fair though, like, this is someone that I've made stuff for before, and I can always just ask them if they're cool with me posting photos in the Discord. Oh wait, you're not in the Discord. But I'll see if they're cool with me sharing. And if they are, I'll send over in progress photos. But yeah, so some of the folks that have like ordered stuff from me before, they'll just be like, hey, do you mind if I share this? Even though it's not done yet. Is this at an angle? Let's not have the tower at an angle, that'd be bad. Let's see if I can add a little bit of UV resin down here. I want to make sure the tower is actually upright. It'd be bad if it was not upright. I feel like that would... I don't want the tower to look like it's falling over. I think we're okay. Okay, I think we're okay. So I'm gonna let that tower at an angle might be cool. I mean, fair. I don't know if it's what the person wants, though. Trying to work to some concept art and stuff. All right, I think that should be good. I think that's everything for that. So let me put this away. And put everything away. All right, and I think that's all of the pieces there. I think that I was kind of thinking it was going to take a long time to get all of the pieces in there. But I think that I was just worried about that because it took a lot of time to make all of the pieces. I'm just like, man, it's going to take a long time to then place all the pieces. But no, that actually went pretty smoothly, I think. We're going to have to be kind of careful not to knock things around too much for that. Let me put my glue away because I don't think we need that. Let me see here. And then I think we just need to kind of pull out all of our pigments and everything and get them set up, and then we will be good to go. Just a second. I did not get the UV resin that was on the lid here that I was using cured. Let me do that so I can get that off the lid. So we've got all of our pigment tests over here. That's the first thing we're going to be doing. And then we've got our D20 here. And that's going to have kind of a swirl of these 4 different colors at the top for kind of a storm. It's going to have clear resin, and then we're going to have kind of a swirl of these colors. So I'm going to need 4 different mixing cups here for these. And I think, let me just double check. Let me just double check the that I've got all of my colors for this. I'm second guessing myself if there's one more color or not. I think it's those 4, but okay, now it just peels off. There we go. Yeah, exactly. I want to make sure I get this right. It was a while ago, though. This is just pictures of fan art that I'm working on. Wait, okay, let's see here. Okay, we're good. We're good. I need to go back through some messages, but we're good. We've got the ones that we want. Yes, that should all be good. Fairly certain that's the correct one. Just double check here. Yes, that's the correct one. Cool. Now we put this away. I've got that. So we're gonna do our little pigment tests. We're gonna do our D20 here with the storm swirling on top, which we now have our little cups for. We'll put all of our pigments into the cups in just a moment. And then we're gonna do a set of plum saffron tea. Is amazing. Ooh, that sounds good. That was really good. But we're gonna do a set of dice here. It's an 8-piece set, but it's a commission set, so I do extra stuff. And that's gonna be, I have notes here of what this is going to be. I think I remember, but I'm gonna pull up my notes anyways. Let's see. Yep, so it's gonna have some purple smoke. It's gonna have a slight shimmer to it. It's gonna have some white glow pigment in it, and then it's gonna have a red peachy through it. So, we're gonna be doing our pigment tests, at least some of them, first, because I want to know what the red looks like, and I want to know what the purples look like, because we're casting spells. Yes, my grimoire. But I'm gonna do the reds and the purples so that we can try and find the correct purple color. Hopefully they cure the same color that they are, but like I said, if it doesn't work out, I'll just make another set. And then we will do that. So I've got my white glow-in-the-dark pigment, which I'm debating how I want to do. Do I want to do, to be fair, kind of the design we're going for is very similar to your first set of dice, Helen. Do we want to do kind of glow in the... You're a pony. No, do I want to do a swirls of the white glow in the dark like the purple? So kind of swirl in some of the purple, swirl in some of the glow in the dark pigment? Or do I want to kind of do some of the glow in the dark pigment at the base, and then I'm going to pour clear resin on top of that, which will then kind of make it all smoky and stuff? Yeah, to be fair, those were a reference image that I showed the person when we were coming up with the design. So I'm thinking maybe we do we want to do that like that? Either way, we're going to mix it with a little bit of resin. And then we'll get our colors figured out after we do our little color tests. So, that's fine. The juju is strong with your skull dice. Oh, excellent. Excellent. We casting spells. Bye-bye. I will always remember you. Okay. Let's get our, let me move this up actually. Ooh, okay. Let's get our pigments going. I don't think I'm going to need a ton of these pigments. I don't want them so dark that, or so heavily pigmented that they sink. If you like super saturate the resin with a whole bunch of mica powder, it will sink. Because mica is a type of rock and it's heavier than resin. So I don't want so much that it's going to do that. But I don't want so little that it just looks like there's nothing there. It's a little bit of a balancing act. Bad guy is gone. Excellent. I'm going to try and kind of balance things. We might end up with a little bit of extra resin here, just left over, which is fine, actually. Oh, no, I have a keychain for this already. Never mind. Should I do it? I think I might do a D2. If there's leftover of these colors, I'm going to make a, hello again, cat. I'm going to make an extra D2 because I feel like that'll be kind of fun to go with it. Or I could do a D6. Should I do a D2 or a D6? Probably a D6, actually. That's the thing with some, so I have like, you know, some newer options for commission stuff. You know, it used to just be, it was just 7-piece sets, which are now 8-piece sets with the D2. And, you know, I do the 7 dice, and then I would do a keychain and an extra D4 that was a different shape. And those were just, you know, I was using them as dump molds type thing. And then, you know, I've done D6s and fate dice, and usually for those, I do a keychain and then an extra die. Usually something that's a little bit different, but, you know, also a dump mold of some sort. And then I started adding a bunch of, like, singles type things. So, you know, I have, like, option for just a single D20 in my shop and jumbo dice. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do as extra things. Because, like, for jumbo dice, if I do an extra, you know, it's just a 7-piece set. It's the, you know, the D20, D12, 2 D10s, D8, D6, D4. You got coffee. Ooh, coffee. Maybe I'll have some coffee with dinner tonight. I don't get coffee very often, but I'm going over to a friend's house, and I know that they have coffee. I don't really have a lot of coffee at my house. Okay, cool. We've got our pigments there. But for like a jumbo dice set, it's just like, what do I'll do a keychain, obviously. I like doing keychains because I've said this before. I feel like if people are getting a set of commissioned dice, they're usually getting it because whatever they're based on is something that matters to them. And so I feel like a keychain is kind of nice for that. Like, it's, you know, it's a character that matters to them, or a game that matters to them, or it's based on a TV show that matters to them or something like that. And so I feel like it's kind of nice to have a keychain. I need more energy. Man, I do. Yes, let's get these figured out. Man, would you believe it if I said I've toned it down over the years? But, to be fair, I feel like this would be a much more boring stream if I didn't have it. I can just talk like this. We'll make dice. How was your day today? Okay, so, I'm not doing that. No, I'm trying to figure out, well, maybe more, that should be fine, I think. Okay, yeah, that should be fine, because I'm going to do this as well. Sorry, I was just realizing that I usually need about 30 milliliters of resin for a set of dice, which would be a full one of these, which would be a pain. So I might not want it in that container, but I'm going to be doing the white as well. So that'll be a little bit, except that's not going to be very much. We're changing what our mixing cup. It was fine. Thank you for asking. Yeah. Alright, that has some glitter in it, but that's okay. Let's move that before I knock it over. But no, that's something that I've been trying to figure out. I'm still kind of trying to figure it out. Is like, what do I send extra if people order just like a single D20? I feel like I've kind of decided at this point that if people order just like a single D20, single custom D20, I'm gonna send along a keychain that matches it. Nothing else, just a keychain that matches it. Because I still feel like it's fun to get something a little extra. And then for like a full set of jumbo dice, I'm still not completely sure. Still not sure. Because I was kind of debating, like, let's put some, this is a white glow powder. So we should get some nice white glow in the dark. Do I want more than that? I might want more than that. We're going to add some more than that. Let's use more than that. I need more than that. But yeah, so like keychain, definitely. Like, I like doing the keychain. I don't use a lot of keychains personally, but again, I feel like if you're getting a set of dice, then you're probably getting them for something that matters to you, and it's kind of fun to have a little keepsake to carry around with you for something that matters to you. That's my reasoning there. And then I don't know. Like I said, I'm just not 100% sure. If we got extra resin, I'm gonna do. I made some blank black dice the other day. What was that? Wednesday? No. Yes, it was on Wednesday because I couldn't get the stream to work. And so I had a few that I didn't actually get around to. So if we have left over, I'll make the rest of those. But that's an if sort of thing. But otherwise, I think that's everything. I think that's everything. We've got our pigments there. That's just going to have clear in it. And we've got all of our little cups over here. You thought yesterday was Saturday? Oh man. Time. But I'm thinking maybe like a keychain and maybe a D6. I was thinking maybe a D20, but quite honestly, D20s are a lot more work than a D6. So I don't know if I want to or not. Maybe like a keychain and 2D6. I don't know for like a full set of jumbo dice. I'm open to suggestions for what like little extra things I should do with a full set of commissioned jumbo dice. I've only had do a D6. I feel like D6s are a little more. D6s are always useful, I guess. Like I feel like they get used so much in D&D and other games. You know, it's one of those ones that gets used for everything. Just like I'm going to eat another piece of my cookie before I actually put my mask on. I gotta keep my energy up. Eating a cookie. It's like a chocolate cookie with like chocolate chips in it, I think. I mean, I don't know if there's a name for it, but it's like a chocolate cookie with chocolate chips in it. My brother got it from the supermarket. Okay. There's more cookies there, but I haven't eaten it yet. So I'll eat it afterwards. Maybe? Something like that. I'm realizing... knocking things over. I'm realizing here that I should fill this up a little bit more. I'm just going to do it with this brown though. If I have leftover... No, that's not the thing I wanted... Where's my cinnamon? There it is. I have a sphere here for a different commission that I'm working on. It's going to go into a Jumbo D10. But I need a little bit more dirt in it. So we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon here. Perfect. Alright. It smells so nice. And fill that up the rest of the way as well. If we have just a little bit of leftover. Mulled plum spice tea is also fantastic. What does mulled mean? Does that mean it is that a type of spicing? Like, is that a certain collection of you're having a plum day? You know, I've heard of like mulled wine. Is that the spices that you put into it, or is it a preparation process? I guess I don't know. I don't know food. Okay, let me actually get my safety equipment on here. We're gonna get a little bit muffled. We're gonna sound like this. It's a type of spice mix. Okay, that would make sense to me. Did you mull it over for a bit to decide on that? Hey. Oh. Wait. I have one more thing I need to do before I actually do that. I need a mixing cup. I need to clean out a mixing cup. I was working on cleaning things last night, and quite honestly, all I really got done was getting the mixing cups cleaned out for all of my little tests. I mean, I cleared out off my space a little bit, but let me. I sure hope you heard my pun, even though I had a mask on. But that's, anyways, I'm gonna get booed off the stage. I think that's still a, if you type exclamation mark boo and then at my name, at Human Disaster, I think it still does something. I think, there we go. And that's one of the commands that I've been thinking of getting rid of. Just because I feel like that's something that's funny to me, but I worry it could be taken as very negative by people who aren't used to being here. Because literally the only context that I would plan to use that for would be bad puns. But, you know, people show up and start using it in other contexts, it could be bad. So I really should get rid of that, but I forgot. Ah, mold means warmed and with spices added. I like how you had Streamlabs bonk you on the head. Neither Jen or Omar are here to bonk people, so gotta do it yourself. Okay. Let me actually get this cleared out. Yeah, I kind of half cleared off this table. The table next to me is a disaster. No such thing as a bad pun. I'll have to see if we can test this. So, to clear out my mixing cups here, I've turned it inside out. We're gonna take a piece of packing tape to it. Probably a good thing that I ordered the, like, 18 pack of packing tape. Actually, it might have been more than 18. It's like a 20 pack of rolls of packing tape at one point. I was just like, I don't need this much packing tape right now, but I guess I will in the future, and it's cheaper for, you know, individual. But I use so much packing tape for things. Because I use packing tape for cleanup, like this. I use packing tape in, you know, the process of making my molds. That's how I get the lids, like the outlines for the lids. I take the base part here, and then I put packing tape around it, and that's what I pour into. And here we see both ends of the spectrum, as far as pun opinions go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're gonna have a fight in the chat. Fight, fight, fight. Fingers are all covered in little bits of resin. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I use so much packing, and then obviously I use it for actually packing orders and things, but I use so much packing tape. I think this should hopefully be enough packing tape to finish this off. You didn't say you didn't like them, you just said they're bad. I mean, fair. Fair. The thing is, like, I like puns, but they're one of those things where I feel like I have to boo them whenever someone makes one. It's like, whenever, I don't know what it is. It's gotta be a cultural thing. That's gotta be a cultural thing. Like, where it's just like, the appropriate response to someone making a pun is to, like, act like you're unhappy about it, even if it's funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even like you live for puns. I have resin on my fingers. Exactly, you're supposed to boo. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you see, you understand. That's so strange though. Now that I'm thinking about it, just that like the expected response to a pun is like a groan or a booing. You're the outlier here. I'm not saying that I like puns, but it feels like the correct cultural response is to act like you don't like puns, even if you do like puns. Oh, I laugh as well. It's just I don't know what it is. I don't know. Exactly, I do the same thing. I usually laugh and I'm just like, boo, get off the stage. Okay, here we go. Got a mixing cup here. Got a stir stick. Now we can actually pour some resin. This actually all came together quicker than I thought it was going to. Alright, so I'm gonna get kind of muffled. For real now. So I'm gonna sound like this the rest of the stream. Just a heads up. Yeah. But gotta be safe. Alright. I'm wondering if I'm gonna need to open my my new containers of resin. Just a second. No, I think we should be fine. Oh, you know what I do need though? I need a new rag over here because I don't have one. I tossed out my other one while I was cleaning. Okay. Alright, I'm going to be going quiet here for a second while I pour this because I can't, talk and pour at the same time. Feel free to tell all of your bad puns in the chat and I will be right back to read them all. Maybe. This one's getting a little bit low. There we go. Going slower than usual because it's getting a little bit low in my bottle here, but I think we've got 50 in here. I just need it to actually pour. Alright, we're almost there. I don't know how, but I've ended up with more of part B than I have of part A left over, which is maybe mildly concerning. Alright, there's that. And let's get our part B in here. Let's also wipe this down because there's alright. And let's get part B in there. And there's part B. Alright. So this will take a minute to stir so we can chat for a bit. idea what that is a reference to. But it is a good point that your name is a play on words. I do really. Here's a question for you guys. Like, I feel like I can figure out how you got your username, Helen. But like, how did you guys get your? How did you decide on your usernames? Like, I'm pretty sure Human Disaster was an idea that a coworker / friend of mine came up with when I was trying to figure out like some sort of internet handle. I don't go by this everywhere, but I think it was something that a coworker came up with. Yours is a nickname. Oh, and Hen is part of your last name. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Obviously, mine has part of my first name in it, since with the whole Liz and everything. But yeah, I think mine was suggested by a friend when I can't remember why I was trying to come up with some sort of internet handle, but a friend had it as an idea. I just ask my friends for ideas, I guess, because I think my business name, Alchemist's Attic, was kind of one of my brother's ideas too. We were discussing name ideas, and then we came up with like Alchemist's Kitchen or something like that, and it's just like, I don't know about that. Your name is Helen, and people make that joke all the time. It was either that or Helen Wait. Reminds me of a friend of mine who was almost called Noah, but then he would have been Noah Moore. So that got vetoed by one of his parents. I don't know which one. So she's like, no, we're not naming our child Noah Moore. There's, yeah. Go to Helen Wait, yeah. Yeah. I think this is sort of related to that and sort of unrelated to that. One of the things that really amused me at one point was I had someone ship something to me for their commission. And so we had, interacted via, like, Twitch here, and then, like, I think, Etsy Messenger. And I was like, hey, could you send that to me for the commission? They had something in particular they wanted to be included. And they're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, okay, here's my address. Go ahead and ship it to me. And the package came in and it was arrived to Liz Zaster. So I had actually given them my last name. And I don't know why, but that just tickled me pink for some reason. But I was just marked down as Liz Zaster. I don't know why. It's just like, I mean, yes, but also no. But I guess that works. I know who it's for. Here's a member of the Night Watch in the Discord book series. Ah, okay. Okie dokie. Is that the one with the, like, 20 books or something? There was... No, maybe it's Wheel of Time I'm thinking about. Sorry, there was a conversation recently with a friend and, like, her parents, and, like, I think it was Wheel of Time, maybe. But both of her parents and, like, her brother loved the series, and she's like, I cannot stand this series. It was just very funny. She's like, there's too much description. Just get on with it. I can't remember what series it was exactly, but it was one of those things. I think maybe it was Wheel of Time or something like that, but yeah, it was very funny. She's got a book coming out. I'll have to, like, promote my friend's book once it actually comes out. many things are a pun or play on words. I like that. See, that's how I name things in D&D. Like, I love coming up with names for things in D&D. As long as I have the time to, like, sit down and actually come up with the names. Like, on the fly, I'm just like, oh. But, like, all of my, like, D&D character names are usually, like, a name that means something related to them. Or you know, some sort of play on words or something like that. Like, I don't know, there was just, like, I had a ranger once that was named Eamon, and I came up with that name by Googling, like, demon names. Because he was a doppelganger that was working for the bad guy. One of the bad guys. Also, he had a pet snake named Lucy. So, you know, I was playing on, like, demon names and stuff. But, I don't know, I had, like, an Azamar, I think. It was named, like, Orianne or something. And I meant, like, sky or fire or something like that. But, you know, anyway, I don't know, there's something fun about that. But I have a big map that I drew up at one point. That was for a campaign I was going to run. This is almost done, I think, by the way. I'm just scraping things a little bit more. But a campaign I was going to run at one point. And, like, I think I was talking about this in my Discord at one point. Because someone was like, how do I come up with names? And the way that I came up with all of the different names was, I was like, okay, what is this area's main export or business? Like, is this a trade hub? Is this a fishing town? Is this a logging area? And then I went and, like, found words that kind of matched what their main export or some sort of defining trait of them. Do they live in, like, a big canyon that's something that's different from where everybody else kind of lives? And took something like that and then incorporated that into the name, either, like, finding some synonym or root word or something, and then kind of twisting it to be something that sounded like a name. But I don't know. That's how I like coming up with place names. Just, you know, figuring out what's going on there, what makes this place kind of unique, and then taking words from what makes that place unique, and then kind of twisting them around until they sound like a place. And that's, you know, that's not always the, like, best thing to do. Sometimes places are just named weird things, depending on checking your laundry. Good plan. Yeah, some places, it's just good to have them named something strange and random and a collection of sounds or something like that, but I don't know. I think it's fun. I remember, like, in middle school, we were doing a thing on root words. It's like Greek and Latin, for the most part, root words. So, root words are kind of like the sections that make up most words. So, like, post would mean after type thing. So, like, posthumously would mean, like, after death. And stuff like that. So, like, the little pieces of you know, the English language. And I don't know, I really enjoyed that. It's kind of funny that I guess I went into math and science, considering I found that stuff really interesting. But it's really fun, because it means, once you know, like, the root words and stuff, like, you can make up words that make sense. Or, like, submarine. Like, sub means, like, under, and marine is, like, water or ocean. You know, it's going to mean under ocean or underwater or whatever. You can start taking those words those chunks of words and putting them together in new combinations and stuff, and making, like, new words that mean things.
It's just really fun. It's almost kind of like a, I don't know, there's just something fun about that. I'm trying to think of, like, what's something we could, those roots are all Latin. Some of them are Greek. I mean, technically we're a Germanic language. We're not a Romance language, we're a Germanic language, technically. Although I like the, there's something I read at one point that English was formed by mugging a bunch of other languages in a back alley and rifling through their pockets for spare grammar. Something like that. I'm just like, yeah, pretty much. Okay, I think this is pretty good. Let me see if there's any more streaks in here. I'm just going to scrape this one more time around the edges and then on the bottom. Yeah. Now, most of them are Latin, but some of them are Greek. Some of them are other languages too, but yeah, a lot of them are Latin. Maybe I should just learn Latin. But I don't know. It was fun. It was fun learning all the root words. And it really made me think about how, if I was going to design a language, how I would do it too. So I think if I was going to design a language, I'd kind of come up with root words or base words, and then come up with like root words or base words, and then kind of start designing words with those. Your dad took 4 years of Latin. Oh wow. All right. Comes with little things too. So let's see how this red looks. I'm gonna dribble of red in here. Get a little bit more of a dribble. I want enough to cover the base, the bottom here, but not like so much that it's a mess. I just realized I'm gonna need stir sticks for all of these. That's fine. All right. Ah! I'm glad that didn't spill it everywhere. I'm gonna drop of red, and this is the red that we're gonna be using over here as well. So I hope it looks good. Yeah, it sure looks red, so that's exciting. I'd say that looks like a red. Alright. And then I want to do the purples. So I'm going to focus on the red here, and then I'm going to do all of the purples next. And that's because I want to know which purple I want to use. One year for Father's Day, you got a plaque that said in Latin, "If you can read this, you're overeducated." That's very funny. That's very funny, I must admit. Actually, here, you know what? Let's add our little bit of resin to each of these. So I'm focusing for a second so I don't spill this everywhere. I just want to add enough that it covers the bottom and is thick enough that it's gonna, like, not add a drop of this. Ooh, this one might be good. I'm kind of looking for like a bluish purple. This one's a little bit more bluish. Oh, that's purple. It's definitely purple. But it's actually, that's leaning more bluish purple. It almost kind of matches the like phthalo blue that I have, I feel like. Where did I set that? I just had that. Where did I put it? Where did I put the phthalo blue? Oh, here it is. Oh no, this is a little bit more blue. The phthalo blue is a little bit more blue. But this might actually be the correct purple. I'm thinking. Alright, I'm gonna go down the line here with my little, I could grab another cap, but just get as much of the purple out of there as we can. That might be the correct purple. Why do you seem so upset, like so concerned about folding towels? You're just like, oh man, I folded towels. I don't know if I'll ever recover. You don't like folding towels? don't mind folding laundry, to be honest. Oops, that's not the lid. One of the things I just don't mind doing, I guess. Okay, this is more like a reddish purple. This is why I do this. It's kind of fun. I enjoy doing the like little testers like this. I just add 1 drop so that we can. So many towels. It's kind of fun just adding like 1 drop. I add 1 drop so that I can tell kind of how pigmented the things are going to be too. Like I feel like it's kind of a good indicator. You don't like folding anything. I feel like, to be fair, I only have to do my own laundry. I don't have kids or anything, so I, you know, and I can put it off if I want to, because it's, you know, I almost have to throw in the towel. Oh, yep, there it is. Something had to be coming. This one's called Grape, I think. Boo! Get off the stage. But yeah, I only have to do my own laundry, and like if I put it off, it's not a big deal. I just pull things out of the laundry basket, the clean laundry basket. So you know, maybe that's why I don't mind laundry too much. Never! You shall never defeat me! For I am hell in a handbasket. I'm grabbing a new one of those. We're just going to use the same purple. Yeah, I think we're going to use that first kind of bluish purple one. I think it's going to match the best. We're kind of trying to match this to a Pokemon. Ooh, this one looks nice though. This looks like a nice. Ooh, this looks like a nice wine color. It says it's purple, but it's a nice wine color. I'll show you these a little bit closer in just a moment here. To be fair, I don't know if these will cure slightly different. That's part of the reason that I do this too, is because sometimes things cure and they don't look the same as they did when I was mixing them. One of the purple pigments that I have, you've glow-in-the-dark nails. Ooh, that's fun. Sometimes, like one of the purples I have, like when I'm mixing it into the resin, it looks almost gray. It's like super muted and stuff. It's just like, that doesn't look great. But then, like once it comes out, it's just like, oh, that's nice. So we've got our different purples. We're gonna go for this. It looks more blue on camera, but it's kind of a bluish purple. We're gonna go for that one. And we've got our red over here. They're purple, but they glow green. Ooh, that's fun. Okay, so I'm actually, before I do the rest, now that I've figured out what color I want, I'm going to do, I think, do we want to do our 8-piece set, or do we want to do we're going to do our 8-piece set first. So the reason I'm going to do these is because we're going to be doing a Petri, and I want to make sure that the ink has time to sink down into the dice. So let's get these lids off. Oh yeah, I like this. I was going to dress up today, and then I kind of forgot. I forgot until like 5 minutes before I was supposed to be streaming. It's just like, oh, never mind. I guess I won't. But no, I love dressing up. Okay, let's see here. Add a little bit of this here. Probably more than I needed. Does the 8-piece set come with biscuits? What? What's that email me? I'm going to go down to about 60. Yeah, we're going to go down to about 60 on here, I think. What do you mean, does it come with biscuits? I don't know what I said. I'm assuming that's in response to something I said, but I don't remember what I said. Another. A little bit more. to add a little bit more white shimmer to this. A food joke. Yeah, I figured it was a food joke because biscuits. I mean, I do have a cookie. I was trying to figure out what the food joke was, though. A little bit of extra shimmer here. I think I want a little bit of extra shimmer. It's not like we're trying to like keep it so you can see everything in it. You know, I don't want it to be opaque, but it's a little extra shimmer. That should be fun. Exclamation mark bunk, and then at the person that you want to bunk. Nice and easy. Oh, you got it. Yeah. Alright, is that shimmery enough? Is it shimmery enough? Should I add more shimmer? We're going to add more shimmer. Just a little bit. Just a little bit more. Not that much. There we go. There we go. Glad we're getting all the important. I'm glad I have the important commands in my chat. Like, you know, it's all about the important ones. Alright, so we're back to the real question here, which is, do I want to do the white glow-in-the-dark pigment down at the bottom and then pour this resin over the top so it kind of like comes up from one side while the red comes from the other? Or do I want to kind of swirl this in like I'm going to swirl in the purple before I do, so it's going to be kind of like tendrils of it? I guess it's not going to matter too much. It'll end up kind of tendrily either way. We'll add just a little bit, I think, to each of these and then do our stuff. So we're just going to add a little bit of this glow in the dark. Just a drop or two to each dye here. I have a cookie. I got a cookie. I know that I'm having lasagna for dinner, but I don't know what I'm going to have after this. So I'll go eat something after this, but I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch. I usually eat lunch at, about 2. So I'm starting to get a little peckish, but not too much so. Ham and potato soup. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, I love a good potato soup too. My brother has kind of made a soup, kind of designed a soup, I guess. That's one of my new favorites. And it's kind of a mix of potato soup and broccoli cheddar. So it's broccoli cheddar potato chowder. But it's really good. So it's like potato soup, but then it's kind of cheesy and it has some broccoli in it. I don't know, I really like it. But also I really like both broccoli cheddar and potato soup. You know, the thing that's kind of a strange spice to add to potato soup that makes it really good is tarragon. There's a local place here that makes their potato soup with tarragon in it, and I mean it's kind of like, I feel like it's different from what you'd expect, but it's good. It adds a little bit of like sweetness to the richness. We tried. So yeah, I would suggest adding a little bit of tarragon. I feel like it really adds to it. Alright, let's see here. Okay, I'm just gonna, I'm not too worried about this being all at the bottom, so we're just gonna scrape this off into these. Are we getting soup recipes in the chat? I mean, I'm not complaining if we have soup recipes in the chat. Alright, there's all of our glow in the dark. And then we're going to add our clear. So we're going to add our sparkly clear. And this is going to go in. I don't want to fill these up all of the way. I just want to fill them up most of the way. Because I want to have enough, oh no, I want to fill these up about halfway actually. I'm going to fill these up about halfway. And then we're going to add our purple. Stand by for soup recipe. I don't know if there's a character limit on the thing, so you may have to do it in more than one. Just a heads up. You're hungry and trying not to eat until later. You got plans later, so you're trying to wait. I know that's me some days where I'm just like, I'm hungry, but I know that I'm having a certain, like, dinner at a certain time. It's like, man, do I have a snack now, or do I wait and like make it so I'm not hungry anymore? Or do I wait for the food that I know is coming? Okay. Yeah, just figured you might want the heads up. Oh, there's a cat hair. Be gone. Be gone, cat hair. You're a grazer. That's fair. I get that. I don't know if it's the meds that I take or what, but I have such a low appetite. It's like, I don't know. I'm just like not hungry. I also have like a little bit of a wonky stomach. A little bit of a touchy stomach, if you will. So I end up I should eat more than I do probably. I also just forget to eat. I really don't have great eating habits. Like, this is not, don't aspire to this. Oh gosh, we need more. We're gonna add our purple in here. I'm trying to add a little bit, kind of like some smoky tendrils of the purple. Try not to add too much to any one of them. But if they're, you know, a little uneven, that's fine. If they don't all have the same amount, it's fine. They don't all need to have the same amount of purple. I think the D12 needs a little bit more, though. It doesn't have much at all. Let's see. You take about 6 good-sized potatoes and cut them up. Then probably a cup or 2 of ham cubed. Put them in enough chicken broth to just cover everything and boil them for about an hour and a half with 2 bay leaves. Welcome to the cooking stream, everyone. Today we are reading recipes from chat and acting hungry. Use bouillon cubes so there's already some seasoning in the broth. Makes sense, makes sense. I want enough purple here that it's visible when we get the red in there. Okay. A little bit to our purple. Not our purple, our D4. Actually, both of our D4s here. So I don't really need to swirl this too much, to be honest, because I'm going to be adding more resin on top, and that's going to kind of swirl things around a bit when I add it. Let's wipe off our thing there. I think that's probably good. We've got a little bit of our purple in there, and then we're going to add our rest of our clear resin. Hopefully I've got enough here. And I don't want to fill this up so it's like overflowing like I normally would. I want this so that it's almost like maybe a little bit down. And do I have enough resin here? But I don't want this to be like overflowing like I normally would, because I want to have room for my inks that I'm going to be putting on here. And then take out the bay leaves, get the potato masher and mash about half of the potatoes. Don't drain them, just mash. Makes it thicker. I'm almost using potato as the thickening agent. that in there. Okay. Yeah, take out the bay leaves. Yeah. Don't worry, I edited for you when I read it. Take them on a nice date. Find out, what sort of hobbies they have. Maybe they're good conversationalists, these bay leaves. But only if you're interested, of course. Take them out. I'm in a mood. Apparently when it comes to bad jokes tonight. Okay, we're going to add a little bit more resin here because I think we're going to need just a little tiny bit more. But I think I'm going to kind of flatten this off a bit because I want to add my inks to these because we're going to do a Petri. So for that, 10 out of 10 comedy. I am a comedy master. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am the most comedic. You may all kneel before my comedic prowess. Then you add a good sized spoon of sour cream. Sour cream. You'd estimate about a 1/4 cup and whole milk until you get the consistency you want. Yeah, you gotta have the dairy in there. Like, I feel like that just makes a good chowder. Okay, so we're gonna add our new red pigment to the top here. I'm gonna add quite a bit. The problem with Petri is that if I add too much of the ink, it will make the resin soft. If I add too little, it just it won't turn up as red or anything. So we're gonna add our red. All right. Add seasonings. Usually garlic and onion powder, fresh ground pepper, and smoked paprika. We use so much garlic and onions at my house. We eat so many garlic and onions. All right, now we're gonna add our white, and this is gonna help that red sink. And hopefully this white doesn't end up too white, which sounds weird, but I don't want like a pink. I do want it to be red. It does look like it's kind of holding its own though, so that's a good sign. Add a couple more drops to the D20 and a couple to the D12 as well. They're a little bit bigger. And then you add shredded cheese again until you get the consistency you want. That sounds really good. Tasty as you cook, do not boil once you add the dairy. Oh, okay. Will you like burn it or something if you do that? I don't know how to cook. I'm not the one that cooks at my house, so I'm just saying things. I'm gonna set these off to the side. We're gonna give these a minute, let some of the stuff sink, and then we will add the last little bit of our resin to the tops. So let's set these off to the side. Oops, I didn't add my white to the keychain. But we're going to set these off over here for just a minute. It'll separate and curdle if you boil. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm very lucky to live with a brother that both enjoys cooking and is good at it. So, I'm spoiled in that I don't have to cook, which is good because I don't know. Cooking's one of those things where like I could do it. I just don't have the patience for it. I can't get myself to like have the patience to cook. Okay. Let's do this next. This is going to be our D20 because I'm kind of more. I want to get the commission stuff done more than I want to get the test chips done. I think we should have plenty for the test chips, but this way I can kind of see what we have left. All right, so I'm going to fill this up most of the way, except for this cat hair here. So there's a couple cat hairs just hanging out. Why are you just hanging out, cat hairs? You're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be far away. You love to cook. Love, and you're good at it. If you say so yourself. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. I have the utmost respect for people who are good at cooking and who love cooking. Like, it's definitely a skill. And it's one of those things that, like, some people just love to do. And, like I said, I'm lucky that my brother is both enjoys cooking and is good at it as well. He does like to experiment, though. So you open Twitter and the first post you see is, cooking dinner is the best time of the day. I think part of it is I just, like, I can't estimate times well. So, like, my brain tells me that if I want to cook dinner, it's going to take me 12 hours or something. Like, that's just how my brain works. Like, unfortunately, I also love to eat. I mean, same. I mean, you gotta eat to live. You gotta eat to live. You might as well enjoy it. Alright, so we're going to use the colors that we used the other day in a set of dice. So I posted a set of dice on social media recently, talking about how they were colors that I wouldn't normally use myself. They weren't like a color combo that I would normally think to put together. That's the colors we're using for the storm here. And we're going to kind of try to swirl in a bit of, like, all these colors kind of separately, but also, like, kind of swirling together. And we've got our phthalo blue. I really like the phthalo blue. It's like, it's blue, but it's kind of leaning towards purple a little bit. So it's got kind of some of the, like, it's definitely blue, but it's kind of leaning that direction. I don't know, it's just a really nice blue color. It's very nice. Okay. So, let's see here. I want to add some of these colors in here. Let me think about how I want to do this. So I'm gonna kind of, like, put some of this color in here, and I'm gonna kind of try to swirl it around a bit. Not too much. And I'm gonna go around, I think, with each one and kind of do the same thing. I'm gonna try and kind of work it in a bit. I'm trying not to hit everything because there is, you know, lightning and stuff in there. It's a little bit tight quarters. A little bit of tight quarters. I'm trying not to disrupt everything else in here. I want a little bit of black shimmer here. I honestly don't want to obscure the top of the tower too much either. I know that I'm obscuring it a bit with this, so we're gonna kind of swirl things a bit, and I'm gonna top it off with some clear. Actually, I'm gonna top it off with a little bit of clear. To honestly try and help force some of that stuff down a little bit. And I think that should be good. I'm just going to run this through one more time. Kind of around the edges here. And we will call that good. A little bit more blue. Okay. So we'll see how this goes. I'm excited and terrified. I really hope that turns out. We've got some extra resin here, so let's throw this into a D6, I think. That's what I was going to do. Used smoked ham today and it was awesome. I also like bacon. Bacon in potato soup's good. I mean, I guess that's also ham, technically. Tasted like loaded baked potatoes. Yeah. See, that's the way to go. I think the little you love food. It's good. It's yummy. I think the little bit of salt added by bacon is nice. I don't usually eat a lot of salt. Like I grew up with like most things. Like I grew up not eating a lot of salt, and so now like if there's much salt at all, it just tastes way too salty to me. But you know the little bit of extra something in the bacon, I feel like adds a little bit. And garlic. We use so much garlic. We use so much garlic at my house. So many onions and so much garlic. But it's just so yummy. Oh, the bouillon in this made it. Oh, yeah, that's fair. I'm sure it's a slightly different, you know, recipe than the one that I'm used to. That makes sense though with the bouillon. Is it bouillon or bouillon? Bouillon? Because it is a double L. I feel like most double L's make a Y sound. Or is that just in like Romance languages? I don't know. I don't know how these things work. You also use a ton of garlic and onions. Yeah. They're just so good. They add so much flavor to things. It's so much flavor. Okay, let's add the last little bit of black here. I'm gonna add a little bit clear. Yeah. Alright, so let's get this out of the way. And so let me fill this up a little bit with our last little bit of clear. And then we're going to go down the line and do the rest of our, yeah, I've always heard it with an L as well. I wonder what is the root, I guess, of like, you know what I mean. I want, like, where does the word bouillon come from? Like, it looks like it could be French, in which case I would expect it to be bouillon because of the double L, but like bouillon. Yeah, if I was going to pronounce that with a French accent, I'd probably say like bouillon. But, you know, I don't actually know if this is French or not. Alright, let's get these lined up. We're going to add a little bit of resin to all the cups here. We've got our red and our purples. I think I'm going to end up putting these on, I have like a 2-tiered thing for my pressure pot. So I think I'll probably put these on like the bottom layer. That'll be enough for now. We're going to add just a little bit of resin to each of these. Actually, I'll use my stir stick here. So we're just going to add kind of a dollop to each of these. I just want enough for a test. It probably is French, but many things are, and we pronounce them differently, like croissant. Yeah, croissant. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. We just, yeah. Well, you see them spelled, and then you try to put, you know, English rules to it, I guess. It's just like suddenly it's pronounced completely different. Man, yeah, I don't know a lot of French. I know enough French to kind of know croissant. Yeah, I kind of know enough to be able to like pronounce things, I feel like. Croissant. Yeah. You wouldn't pronounce the T at the end of that, yeah. I can like kind of read it a little bit. Mais je ne comprends pas beaucoup de français. Je comprends. Wait. Yeah, je parle un peu de français. Very little. You don't know you took Spanish, fair. To be fair, there is some overlap because they're both romantic languages. Spanish would have been more useful to me, I feel like. But at the same time, French was fun. That's not the cap. I keep doing that. I had a friend in high school who took French, and the reason was that she couldn't roll her R's. And I'm like, I mean, fair, but it was still kind of funny to me, I guess. Like the only reason that she took French was just because she couldn't roll her R's. There's some overlap, but the vowels in Spanish always sound. Yeah, that's fair. I mean more like if I'm reading, like if someone speaks, to be fair, if someone speaks Spanish to me, my first instinct is to speak French back to them. Like if someone asks me how I am, I will automatically respond in French. But at the same time, like they have some of the same roots because they're both Romance languages. And so, like, if I'm trying to read something, sometimes I can kind of work out what is trying to be said. But these oranges are kind of similar, but they're different. This one's a little bit more yellowish, I feel like. You know, for being kind of cheap alcohol inks, these aren't bad. No, this one is not mixed all the way at all. The only word you know in French is no. To be fair, it's not even spelled like that. There's an N at the end. You know, cheese and fromage and oui. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed, let's grab a new one. I enjoyed doing French, even if I never got, like, super good at it or anything. I like, don't ask me to try and do anything in anything but the present tense. Like, you know, I have a vague understanding enough to, got the important ones. Fair, you know. You gotta have that cheese. First yellow. Next yellow. Ah, not my glove. I want the thingy to. This one looks a little bit more sunshiny, a little bit lighter. The other one's a little bit warmer in tone. This one's a little bit cooler in tone. Maybe not as pigmented as the other one as well. It's fairly. You only know fromage because of Dexter's Laboratory. Omelette de fromage. I didn't even watch Dexter's Laboratory, and I know that. I feel like that it was such a meme almost at one point. I didn't watch a lot of TV growing up. There's a lot of like TV shows that like I know of because like they were popular when I was growing up, but like I didn't really watch myself. What is this one? This one is called Lime. Oh, I can see that. It looked darker in the container, but it's definitely like a nice light green. This will open up some new opportunities. I have some other pigments, but I don't think they are alcohol inks. I think they are pigments. Oh man, I've got like a cat hair inside of my mask, and it is annoying me. Just a second here. Just a second. You love that show. You wanted to be a mad scientist. I mean, valid. feel like there's a cat hair here. Or a pirate. No, can't do that. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. I got it! Aha! I got it reattached. Because I am sticky with my gloves. Alright, let's move on to our last one here. The navy was pretty fun. Oh, fair. Fair. Yeah, I forgot that you were in the navy. Alright, there's a drop of that. This one's called Kiwi. That's fun. It's called Kiwi. This actually looks like a pretty nice green. It's kind of, it's not bluish, and it's, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit more yellow. It's definitely like warmer tones than the last one, but. There's that one. We'll move on to our next row. You're a weapons specialist. On paper, you're terrified. I mean, I feel like you could have some fun with that. On to the blues. Blues. Clues. Oops, I've missed that one. Alright. Alright, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a little bit of resin to each of these. A gloop, a dollop, whatever you want to, a blorp. A blorp of resin. That's going to be my new measurement. We're just going to add a blorp of resin. Just a single blorp. That one needs a little more. Let's see. When you got your current job, they wanted a copy of your transcripts, and you handed them 26 pages of weapon qualifications. Oh, man. Dare I ask what you do now? Oh, wait, no, you work as a paraeducator, or a teacher? Paraeducator? You do education stuff, right? I see how that translates. That translates to me. Alright, just a second here. Oh, you paraeducated kids with emotional disabilities. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Important job. With your mohawk and tattoos. I mean, kids probably just think that's cool, though. Like, you know, I feel like it's adults that would have more problems with that. Get another one for our blues. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, the kids do like it, yes. Alright, this one's called avocado. It's an avocado. Thanks. And there's a drop of that. Man, like, sorry, I was just suddenly reminded of, like, that, I guess that's the, if you want to know the, like, specific time frame of, like, my internet history, I quote a lot of Vines. Quote a lot of Vines. Now we're going to move on to the blues. Actually, this one's kind of a blue-green, I think. This one's called Clover. This looks kind of bluish in the bottle, but let's see. Let's see if it looks kind of greenish once we mix it up. It's kind of a tealy color. It's honestly kind of nice. It's in between blue and green. I think as I mix it more, it looks more and more green. Like it's gonna look blue on the camera, but it's a little bit more green than that. Just a slight bit. But yeah, I think it's not a bad color. Not a bad color. Yeah, this is the very exciting. I really enjoy testing things like this. It's just so exciting when there's new things to play with. Like, you know, obviously I could have just gotten a red color and a brown color, which is what I really wanted in alcohol inks, or even just liquid pigments. But now I get all of these other colors to play with too. Some of them are probably going to be somewhat similar to some of the other like pigments that I have. Oh man, I'm going to have to figure out where to put these. I have all of my pigments on a rack over here. But I'm going to have to find room. I'm going to have to make room for these. I didn't think this through. I have not thought this through. There are consequences to my actions. I mean, the consequences are that I'm going to have to reorganize things, but yeah, no. It's more fun if we hyperbolize it. There we go. Got this blue. Yeah, I hope these colors stay kind of as they are, because I like the variety so far. There's a bit of variety here. Everything's looking, you know, different and slightly different toned. They actually seem to have fairly good saturation and color. You know, so some of them aren't the most saturated, but they're not bad by any means. This one's navy. Let's see how the navy looks. Last week your students were helping you decide on the next tattoo. You love your job. That's awesome. That's awesome. That sounds like one of those moments where everyone is just having fun, which is great. Everyone's just enjoying themselves. So what did you guys decide on? What have you decided on for your next tattoo? I don't have any tattoos myself. I think if I was going to get a tattoo, though, I'd get something that was just purely decorational. I don't think I'd want to get a tattoo for anything that is, like, I'm emotionally attached. Parish! Hey! That'll be cool. That'll be cool. But I don't think I want to get a tattoo for anything that I'm, like, super emotionally attached to or anything. Because part of it's just, like, if things go sour, like, if suddenly I'm just like, I don't like this thing anymore, I don't know if I'll, I'm the person that I don't wear a lot of, I don't like merch. It sounds weird maybe. Like, it's not like I hate merch or people who wear it or something, it's just that, like, I personally feel weird wearing merch if it's explicitly merch, or you know, graphic tees that are for something specific. I have a couple of Doctor Who t-shirts that other people got me and stuff that I wear, even though I haven't watched Doctor Who in a long time. But like, I don't know. I'm like that though. Like I've mentioned this before. It's just like I can't let people know what I'm interested in. No one can know. Oh, cool! Look at the giant octopus on your forearm. That'll be cool. That'll be super cool. we'll move on to the next one. So we've got all of these. Now we've got our pink, brown, oops, black, and we have two different whites. One of them is white, one of them is cream, and one of them is supposed to make Petrie's sink more than the other. I was looking at the little things on the back, and so I'm curious to see. I'm not going to do that test today, but I will eventually do a test to see how. Yeah, we're going to save the last one, clean one of these for the white ones, for sure. Okay, but I'm curious to see. Oops, I need to put resin in these. I forgot resin. Okay, I might have like just the right amount of resin. Let me add a blorp to that. Did I say blorp before or glorp? Probably blorp. Add a blorp to that. I'm going with it. It's gonna be a thing now. We're adding blorps. What? Wait, is that like our octopus is like a thing? Or is it just because you have tattoos and they're being like, you know, judgy? Ah, okay. Yeah. I feel like maybe people from my generation, I don't know, it's possible that it's a location thing and not a generational thing, but I feel like there's a different mindset around tattoos with people like millennials, because most people I know have a tattoo, like people my age, like a lot of them have tattoos. I feel like there's a lot less of like a stigma around it almost. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, like I said, it's a locational thing. But yeah. Honestly, I like seeing the artwork. I don't know if I get a tattoo personally, but it's like cool artwork. Like it's cool artwork. Yeah. You tore your MCL in your knee, and the first thing your doctor told me was he wasn't giving you narcotics. You didn't ask for any. Wow. Judgerson over there, yeah. We had just the right amount of resin. So I'm going to end up doing the last few black ones and the dirt thing later, but yeah. Wow. Well. Alright. It's definitely an age thing. Alright. I feel like things are cyclical. I don't know. Things go in and out of like kind of fashion and like being perceived as okay. There's certain things that, you know, like stick around and stuff, but like I don't know. I feel like our generation will probably be like, yeah, tattoos are cool, and then like our children's generation is going to be like, ugh, all of my parents have tattoos. Those aren't cool at all. And it'll just be like a big cycle. That's my guess. We'll just continue on. Yes, I have a brown ink now. When molds are back in style. You know, you joke, but I feel like 80s fashion is coming back into style. I feel like that's a thing with some of the like Gen Zers. You have many and you love them. Tattoos are the new tan. Pretty much, actually. Yeah. Alright. I feel like that's how it goes though. Is like anything that like our parents did is not cool. And so it just cycles back to like, you know, a generation or two before them. You're just like, okay, this is back to being cool. You're literally a sailor expecting. Yeah, that's fair. To be honest, that is Yeah. That makes sense. Oops, I just black ink dripped a bit. That's okay. Alright. We're almost done here. We're gonna get our black and our 2 whites mixed in. See how they look. And like I said, I'm just adding a drop to each of these. So like the black's not super dark or anything. Are you trying to start something here, Robbie? I try to keep it like PG-13-ish in my in the chat. Even though I think I swear every once in a while. I don't swear a lot, I don't think, on stream. I'm sure I've sworn on stream before, though. Alright, so we're going to move over to a nice clean one here for our 2 whites. You made the pun joke? Which pun joke? You've made lots of pun jokes. Alright, this one is white. Is it a pun if it's true? Alright. So here's white. Let me make sure. Yep, I have this marked down as white. Because the other one's called cream. And I'm actually curious to see if the color's any different. Or if it's just going to be like how much it sinks. So we're going to move over to that one. Cursing like a sailor. Oh, I didn't even think of that as a joke necessarily. I just thought it was a legitimate question. Because it's based on the saying. You've met many, many sailors and it's not a joke, it's a fact. I wonder if sailors curse like sailors because it's is it because it's a stereotype, or is it a stereotype because it's true? Like, you know what I mean? Is it like, which one has caused the other? Alright, so we're gonna get this stirred up. They're looking fairly similar in color, but I don't know. Alright, I think we've got all of our colors here. You drink and have tattoos and swear. Yeah, you gotta live up to the legends. Okay, we've got our red ones here. I'm gonna add the last little bit of resin to these because we definitely need more resin in some of these because they're not full all the way. But let's get these kind of overflowing a little bit. We want them to be kind of domed. Kind of domed with resin, so that there's a little bit of extra resin to fill in where any air bubbles might be. You think it's a stereotype because it's true? Alright. I trust your word on that. You have experience in the field. Alright. Trying to get just a little bit of extra resin into all of these. More like experience in this. Okay, there we go. There it is. There it is. Had to get one in there. Alright, the D4 needs a little bit more. And then we're going to try and get a little bit onto the lids as well, so we can make sure that there's no air bubbles trapped. There's not a ton of resin left here. And a little bit more for the D4 still. Alright. So those all have at least a little bit of extra resin there. The D2 actually could use a little bit more, I think. Okay. And then let's add a little bit to the lids. And we'll be on our way. Start putting the lids on. boom, boom, boom. I'm tempted to add more strange random commands to my chat, like the bonk command, like things that are not like useful in any way. They're just weird and fun. And I am open to ideas. So if you guys have any ideas for weird commands that I should add, I would love ideas. I haven't actually sat down and like thought about it too much yet. So, you know, it's not like, actually, what all do I have? So I've got that one. I feel like there's one I'm forgetting. Oh, I guess I have alert command. Yeah, I figured you meant the commands. Yeah. Oh, I see you're talking to Helen. Spritz everything down a little bit. Oh, something caught in my throat. This is a shorter stream than I expected it to be honest. I was expecting this to take much longer than it did. Oh, cool, that popped. Alright, I'm just getting the lids on, and then we'll get these all onto the tray. The, probably my tiered one. I mean, at least it's just a cardboard tube, right? It's just a cardboard tube. It's fine. It's fine. To be fair, I think that one came about because of Helen. No. I was gonna say that I think the bonk command came about because of my moderators. I've got a couple of, they're not here at the moment, but I've got a couple of folks that have moderator privileges, and they get like a little sword. What if the cardboard posters come in? I'm thinking like wrapping paper cardboard tubes that like I would always have sword fights with my brother with. The cardboard ones might be a little bit much from posters, oh gosh. A little extra resin there, we're just gonna use that. It's not shiny, that's fine. See me after the stream. Oh man, you guys. But I think it's so the making connections in the Twitch chat. No, what was I saying? The moderator, like, you know, there's the little symbols next to names that mean different things sometimes. And the moderator one is like a little sword. And so it became known as the Sword of Bonking. Because there's like, no, stop that, like, kind of bonking. Badges, that's the word for it. That's the word for it. But yeah, that became known as the Sword of Bonking, because it's like whacking someone with a rolled up newspaper and being like, no, stop that, type thing. So that's where the bonking command came from. I think that might have been my first command on this channel, actually. It might have been the first command I ever had. I think I had that before I ever had a Discord. I could be wrong, but I think I had the bonk command before I had a Discord at all. Alright, let's see here. It literally was because the mods were having sword fights. Yeah, it really was. I mean, because it's, you know, it's Jen and Omar. They're the ones that use that command the most. Actually, Skylar is also one of my mods. But we're always in different times. Oh, okay. I do appreciate that. I think I'm fine at the moment. Like it's not like I need mods too much, I feel like. You know, my chat is usually, you know, slow enough and stuff that I rarely need I really need any like moderator intervention unless like I'm covered in resin and need to ban someone. But I do appreciate that. If I end up needing more, I will let you know. That'd be excellent. All right, so there's our D4. So I still need to put the lid on. Wait, I would have a sword fight, guys. I don't need everyone to be moderators. This is fight. Oh man, duel. Oh man, I wonder. I'm gonna figure out. There's got to be a way to set it up so that the person who sends the command also like shows up in the what it says. So at the moment, you know, it's like Streamlabs bonked someone on the head. It doesn't actually say like the person's name that bonked someone else. Just have to figure that out. But I think that's why I think that might have been the reason that the bonk command became a thing, because people were sad that they couldn't have sword fights too. Alright. Put this lid on. Fight me! Alright. Let's do this. And I'm gonna put some of these cups onto my little tray here. Might as well. Actually, I'm gonna spritz these all down with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Try and get some of the bubbles on the top here popped. Because, you know, even though these are going into the pressure pot, bubbles still like to kind of rise to the surface and cause some problems. So, and they shouldn't cause any issues with curing. Alright, so we're gonna put some of our cups on here. And I kind of don't want them to be right up against the other things, because I don't want, like over here it's fine, I don't want any of the like resin from one of these just falling down into the into one of these cups. Alright, let's grab our tiered thing here. Our tiered tray. And so we'll get these on, and then I think we're probably gonna call it. I'm afraid you guys will have to continue your sword fight another day, unless there's a victor before I get these all on here. Alright. You don't have cool pictures? You know, I've been trying to figure out like what I want to do for like emotes. I only have one emote at the moment. It's like nothing super interesting. Maybe a sort of bonking, or just an emote that just says bonk on it would be good. Maybe that's the direction I should go. Maybe that's my brand. Actually, that'd be pretty funny. That'd be pretty funny for emotes. If I got more emote slots, because I only have one emote slot. You can't say punch. We'll just light your hair on fire, like making pirate stuff. Alright, I'm gonna head out. But thank you guys for stopping by. I need to put these in the pressure pot. I should be back on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then, you know, Saturday after that, which we may or may not do resin, I don't know. But thank you guys for stopping by. It was good hanging out and chatting.
And hopefully I'll see you guys then. Bye!